And what a great panel we have this week. Ann Coulter is the author of 12 New York Times, 13 best-selling New York Times book. Her latest is called Resistance is Futile, How the Trump-Hating Left Lost Its Collective Mind. Hasan Piker, one of the most influential progressive voices online. He's the youngest of the Webby Award-winning Young Turks. His videos have been seen and shared by millions in social media. Both are some of the most articulate spokespeople for their side, so we're excited to have both of you on the issue as welcome. Immigration, one of the most important issues to both of you. We now have this migrant caravan, which is moving from Latin America through Mexico, expected to come to the U.S. maybe in a month or two. What should be the U.S. policy towards it?
We should invent a time machine, go back and have Trump fulfill his promise to build a wall. This is why his voters wanted a wall, so we don't have to go through this every few months. And if Democrats were smart, the theme of my book, Resistance is Futile, they're doing all the wrong things. The way you'd go after Trump is by saying you haven't fulfilled your promises. What have you done? You've cut taxes. You're going back to the old Republican playbook. I hope he will do it. Maybe if Democrats take the House, which it looks like they will, if they take the House, maybe it'll make him mad and he'll finally fulfill his #1 campaign promise. But to keep going through this every 2 months for the rest of our lives, and he's not going to be president forever, this is why we need a wall. Until then, I mean, sending troops to the border, which he says he's going to do, it sounds tough, but it isn't doing anything. The military, they're all just, handing out here's how you sign up for welfare. They're not stopping them there. That's why we want a wall.
So, Hasan, is building a wall the solution?
No, absolutely not. Also, what difference does it make whether we build a wall or not? These are legal asylum seekers coming in the caravan. It's not like these people are coming to cross the border or jump over the Mexican border. I feel like if they were trying to sneak into the country, they'd probably be doing a better job and not come in such high numbers coming in after escaping violence in their countries. And then on top of that, this notion that Anne is snuck in, they have welfare checks waiting for them at the border is also preposterous. It's proven over and over again that immigrants contribute far more than they take to the U.S. economy. And I think there was 1,436 economists from all different backgrounds that wrote an open letter to Donald Trump advising him that immigration is a net benefit. It's virtually every single economist agrees on this.
Anne?
Well, none of these are asylum cases, or they'd stop in the first country they get to. The idea of asylum is something like there's a Holocaust, there's a potato famine. No, this is how these people always live, which is why all of different countries want to come to, the biggest welfare state in the world. That is the United States, and get welfare checks. And you got economists to sign a letter. Dumping poor people on America is not making us better. They are far more likely to be receiving welfare, and that's just your average illegal immigrant, and immigrant are way higher to be accepting government assistance than American.
How would they accept government assistance?
Applicants don't have to wait at all. They instantly get given food, housing, everything, but they aren't asylum cases. These aren't people fleeing one corrupt, I'm trying to kill you. Otherwise, they'd get to Mexico and say, whew, home free, I'm in Mexico. No, they want to come to the biggest welfare state in the world.
I mean, the American welfare state might be big in totality as far as our population goes, but it's definitely not as encompassing as plenty of other European nations. But that's besides the point. You mentioned welfare. Can you describe to me specifically how undocumented citizens take advantage of our robust welfare state?
They can't walk to Sweden. They can walk to this country.
No, but you're not answering my question.
They can also walk to Mexico, and they're not stopping there.
Okay, but you're not answering my question.
Well, you say asylum.
Asylees
are entitled to everything citizens are.
Oh, so now they're asylum seekers because previously you were using the perspective that they aren't asylum seekers.
No, I am saying they do not qualify. They should not qualify, but they are classified as asylees, as you say, and that's the whole panoply. In fact, they get more than citizens. They have housing built for them.
Undocumented citizens as a whole, because you have such strong opinions on this, and look, you've been doing this for longer than I've been alive, so I would love to hear your perspective on exactly how undocumented citizens take advantage of our supposedly robust welfare state.
We know they're massively collecting food stamps, health care. It is 100%
Absolutely
true.
not true. The only thing you can say is maybe they're using health care. Yeah,
okay,
the health care, as far as emergency rooms, approximately is 0.09% of the entire health care budget.
Schools, English as a second language classes. All these schools across America, oh, sorry, there's going to be no Christmas pageant this year. We had 16 English as a second language classes.
Are you making the assumption that Latin American countries are somehow not Christian and therefore don't want Christmas?
What does this have to do with Christmas?
Well,
you're not following the argument.
We're going to have to leave it there, but we will have more debate, and we're going to play this song, Why Can't We Be Friends? Because that's probably a good theme as well. A reminder that our show is available as a podcast. Just search for The Issue Is wherever you search for podcasts. And coming up next, the two of them are going to discuss President Trump and whether he bears some responsibility for this week's bombs that were sent to Democrats. Stay with us for that. Welcome back to The Issue Is. Welcome back to our panel. Ann Coulter, Hasan Piker are both with us. One man now under arrest for these bomb threats that have been targeting liberal activists. Apparently, this Florida resident, Cesar Sayak, faces 5 counts, up to 58 years in prison. Apparently a Trump supporter who did all this. Hasan, do you think the president bears any responsibility for this man's actions?
Absolutely. And it's not just the president who has decried violence and talked specifically about specific acts of violence against counter-protesters, telling them that he will pay for their legal fees, talking about how if he shot someone on Fifth Avenue, that his supporters would still love him, talking about how the Second Amendment people will take care of it, and also specifically targeting not only CNN, but also Maxine Waters, claiming that Maxine Waters better watch out. These sort of statements obviously are impactful, especially when considering the current political climate in this country. So it's not just Donald Trump that's responsible, however, it's also the media apparatus that is not holding Donald Trump accountable.
Ann?
No, I mean, all the things Trump says, when an audience laughs, it's a joke. None of this is inciting language, talking about shooting somebody on Fifth Avenue. Come on, it's a joke. Historically, political violence has come from the left, which is why a lot of people thought it.
Which is why you have the weekends, for example, instead of
anyway. I'm
like
still
a 7-day work week. But
so it's been, back to the Weathermen, Sacco and Vanzetti, the anti-war protests. You had, of course, the attack on Steve Scalise. You have all the anti-globalists. The Seattle protests. It's just historically the Bernadine Dorn and Bill Ayers. This has historically been something that's come from the left.
So what does that have to do with what's going on right now, though, with this specific instance of violence?
This, as I was saying, and there have also been a lot of hate hoaxes. So what was surprising here is, okay, you got yourselves a Trump supporter. Also, at least half Filipino. So it looks like, a lot. Democrats thought all these immigrants coming in where political violence is way more prevalent than it is in this country. They thought, they'll always be on our side, like Sacco and Vanzetti. But some of them are going to be Trump supporters. I think we might finally get liberals to oppose the caravan by saying, they don't care about MS-13. They don't care about child molesters, still talking. But tell them there's some Trump supporters in that caravan, and they'll be down on the border with the Minutemen.
Okay,
right.
So you're
real quick.
Okay, really quickly. None of what you said has anything to do with this specific instance whatsoever, and it is undeniable that Donald Trump, in some instances jokingly, in some instances very real, has incited violence. You yourself have specifically incited violence by saying, we need more violence from the Trump people. Were you joking when you said that?
I never said that.
That was a tweet. It's literally a tweet that we can look up.
Violence from the Trump people? Well, I'm glad you're studying me. You ought to study me more closely.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Hopefully we can bring everybody together, though, with the Dodgers. We've got a little bit of Dodgers donuts to try to bring this group together as we say, I love LA. A final word about the Dodgers when we come back.
Don't give it to the players. We want them in their top form.
It's been a blast hanging out at Dodger Stadium. There I am throwing the ball around with Mayor Eric Garcetti. So we wish our boys in blue well. And we thank you so much for watching The Issue Is. I'm Elex Michaelson. Have a good night, a great weekend. We'll see you back next week. Go Dodgers!